In this video, we're going to be using Unity to create a VR app that has a custom grabbable 3D object. We're assuming that you've already set up your MetaQuest headset, connected it to your Horizon account, set it up in developer mode, and that the headset has been enabled for USB debugging. If you haven't, you'll run into some roadblocks later, but you should be fine for now. So to get started, we're going to be making a new Unity project. Make sure you're using a version of Unity that has the Android module installed. We're using Unity 6.3.8 with that Android module installed. If you need to install another editor, you can go here and install the latest one. So go ahead and click New Project. I'm using the organization with my name. I'm going to set the project name to Maker Lab Speed and create it locally because we're not going to use any of the cloud settings. And you can save this project to any location you want. We're going to do it on our desktop. So hit Create Project and it'll take a little bit to load. And once it finishes, here's your screen. Now, one window you'll want to have open is Build Profiles. Go into Android and click Switch Platform. You can see on the bottom right corner that a loading bar is still going and that it's still running some scripts to fully switch over to the platform. So let that finish before trying to get into new things. Open the window package manager. If you don't have that window open, you can go into the window dropdown and find it there. In Package Manager, go to Unity Registry, scroll all the way to the bottom, and click on XR Plugin Management and Install. Go to the package above that, XR Interaction Toolkit, and install that one. We're also going to want to install some of the sample assets here to help us get started. So go to Samples and import the starter assets and the hands interaction demo. It's showing you at the bottom in the assets folder that these things are downloading. Occasionally, project validation is going to pop up and ask us to fix errors. You can ignore that for now and just go back to the package manager. We'll get all that sorted later. For this demo, we're going to be using hands as our way to interact with the world instead of the controllers. So install the XR hands package. And yeah, when project validation happens, just go back into package manager. Also go to samples in hands and import the hand visualizer. Scroll up to Unity OpenXR Meta and install that. So now that this is finished, you can go into your project settings and get some of this set up. Here in project validation, you can see that some of those errors have naturally gone away, but go into XR plugin management and select OpenXR and also select MetaQuest feature group beneath it. Drill into OpenXR and we're going to add some interaction profiles. These are both the hands and controllers that you'll be using to interact with the world. So you'll click to add MetaQuest Touch Pro controller and hands interaction profile. Scroll down into the feature groups and add in all of the hands ones and then the palm feature group as well. Now go to project validation. And at the top, click Fix All and see how many can just automatically resolve themselves. So you can check at the bottom right to see that it's still running some of its processes to fix all in the project. And what's fun is this red one is brand new and it wasn't happening before. I think because the headset has recently been updated. It looks like the Android API level is now expecting something new. So since that came up again, we're just going to go ahead and hit that magic fix all button one more time. And yep, it fixed itself. It's a great button. So now we're in the player menu of project settings. I'm scrolling down and checking some of these settings. You can see here that API level did update. If the fix all didn't work, we would have had to change it there. I'm looking for the active input handling and I just can't see it, so we're going to use the search menu up here to find that setting. And there it is. I wanted it to be set to input system package new, and it is, so nothing to change here either. Now we're going to open up one of the demo scenes. So in the project window under Asset Samples, XR Interaction Toolkit, Hands Interaction Demo, and find the object named Hands Demo Scene. Go ahead and double click that to open it. So now you can see in the scene view, the scene that we imported from our samples. Some of these things that are pink are because the material is missing, so it just won't render in the headset, but that's fine. Now we're going to change some of these settings so that when we build this scene, it'll be in pass-through mode. So open XR Origin, XR Rig, Camera Offset, Main Camera, and add the component XR Camera Manager. Go up to Environment and Background Type. You want that to be solid color. I'm going to make that black with an alpha value. And now in Project, under Settings, Mobile RPA Asset, turn off HDR by unchecking that box. I'm going back to the camera, just checking it all looks good. And it does. So I'll go to build profiles because I just want to build this to the headset real quick. So right now it would build sample scene, but remember we're in that hands demo scene. So I'm going to remove sample and add open scene to the list so that the headset knows that that's the one I want to build. Now go back to Android. And your run device, you're going to want that to be your Unity headset. So make sure it's plugged in so you can find it from the list. It's going to be called Oculus Quest with a bunch of random letters and numbers. So hit build and run. It's going to ask you for a file name. You can pick anything. Yes, save the scene if it asks and kind of let this load. It might take 6 minutes or so because it's building a lot for the first time. Once it's confirmed it's built correctly, go to your web browser and go to polypizza.com. Find a model you like. I like the small airplane and I downloaded the OBJ. I extracted that into my downloads folder and now drag those assets into your assets folder. Within the scene, I'm just unchecking some of these items that I don't need for what we're trying to build. And in your project, those assets you brought in, find the one small airplane V3 that has the drop down on it and drag that into your scene. You can now pan around and see your beautiful airplane. This top item doesn't actually have any info and it's part of a prefab, which can be kind of annoying. So right click, prefab, unpack completely, and then drag that bottom nested element out to be top level. Get rid of what used to be the top level one. So now you just have one object that we're going to rename plane. Add a box collider to it by saying add component, and also add component rigid body. Uncheck use gravity and check is kinematic. And we're also going to add the component XR grab interactable, and this will let us grab it with all those XR controls that we set up earlier. Check smooth position, smooth rotation, and check use dynamic attach. This plane is looking pretty big, so use that icon to chain the scale values, and that'll help you change both all X, Y, and Z together at once. If you see here, that pink thing is the same size as your controller, so that's a kind of reference for what the real world scale is going to look like. And I think the plane still looks pretty big, so I'm going to bring it down to 0.05 in scale and just give it a little bit of rotation for fun. And then I'll also want to drag that position up to be closer to where the controller is, just because I know that's going to be close to where my headset is, and I'm not going to have to like find it in the floor or something when I build this scene. Now earlier you didn't see it, but we had a build error that our package name was the same as something else, so I'm going to resolve that here by changing company name to our acronym, which is unique. And a quick way to change the package name is just to uncheck default and recheck it, and now that updates the package name to variables within our own project. Now I used file, build, and run, which is similar as before. And here is the airplane in VR and the view from my headset. And you see I can use our hands to move it all around and make the plane fly and interact with it, even with just a finger. Now we're all pilots. The end.